So good morning to one and all. So myself Dr. K.V. Durga Rajesh. So part of course production technology. In this session I am going to handle about forecasting models. The aim of this session is to familiarize the students with the basic concepts of forecasting models, and the objectives are: this session is designed to understand the importance of forecasting and to understand different types of models existing in forecasting and to describe different types of forecasting methods used in operations management. And these are the outcomes to be expected from the students at the end of the session. They should be able to understand different models and types of forecasting methods, and they should be able to summarize the forecasting process. So now coming to the forecasting is nothing but it is a systematic technique which is used to predict the future outcomes based on the historical data. In future, what is going to happen that we don't know. So the forecasting is nothing but simply predicting future data based on the present, at the same time the past data. We are going to predict the future data, so that will do under this forecasting, for which we'll use the existing, at the same time the past data also. And simply it is about the predictions about the future. So why we need to predict? For example, if you take a car manufacturing company, for example take a Kia Motors, a model, some X model launched now. What about the sales of this particular model in the future? Future in the sense for the next month, or for the next 3 months, or after 1 year. What about the sales of the present new model? If you want to predict that, definitely based on the feedback from the customers, based on the present sales, based on this data, definitely we can able to estimate the future data. That is called simply forecasting. Here two important aspects are there. The one is expected level of demand, other one is degree of accuracy. These two are very important aspects which you have to consider during forecasting. And the forecast may be short range or long range. Short range means in some applications we need to predict the data regarding what is going to happen in the next hour or the next day, the next week, like that. The range, the duration is very shorter. Such forecast will come under short range forecasts. If we are forecasting the sales or the demand or the profits for the next 6 months, the next 1 year, the next 2 years, that will come under long range forecasts. And these are the steps involved in the forecasting process. The very first step is, first we have to determine what is the purpose of the forecast. What for we are doing this forecast? What is the purpose? What is the objective? So that should be determined first. Next, you have to establish a time horizon for that particular forecast. Afterwards, you have to select a suitable and appropriate forecasting technique. There are so many techniques are available, like time series method, regression method, exponential smoothing, so many techniques, out of which for the problem what you are chosen, the suitable technique or appropriate technique need to be selected. Afterwards, you just gather and analyze the total data, then only prepare the forecast, at last monitor the forecast. These are the steps involved in forecast. For example, you see the weather condition. Okay, so nowadays if the season is rainy, definitely we don't know when the rain will come. So definitely we'll go for this forecasting only. There also, so based on the existing the scenario in the world, okay, and also the nearby scenario that may be in the Bay of Bengal or in any areas, if any cyclones or any other things will happen, then definitely we can able to predict. Like that, based on the data of the surroundings, the weather data also is to be forecasted, based on which only either in summer the temperatures, or in the winter, okay, or in the rainy season about the rain, all such information is going to be forecasted. See, these are all only we are predicting. So that's why that may happen or may not. Okay, so that is one of the example for this forecasting, the weather forecasting and all. Next, Forecasting models in operations management. Forecasting model. Let us see what are the various models existing are there. Here, the forecasting in the operations management is carried out based on the size, based on the available information about a particular company or a business goals. For example, if you are estimating a profit or sales about a particular company or demand and all. And also, as a concept, forecasting is making some intelligent assumptions. See, this entire forecasting deals with assumptions only. So based on the intelligent AI based assumptions only, we are going to estimate what is going to happen in the future. And these intelligent assumptions we are assuming by predicting the future, and also these assumptions will facilitate proper planning. Okay, so then only we can able to forecast the desired outcomes. Different models of the forecasting are qualitative and quantitative. Two different models are there, qualitative and quantitative. What is qualitative? So qualitative techniques are subjective approaches, and these are useful when no data is available. This is especially useful for new products. Whenever you are launching a new product, definitely for which the past data is not available. If an existing product is there for which past data is available, based on that we can able to predict. But whenever we are going for new products, definitely whenever there is no past data is available, then we can go for this qualitative techniques. Let us see what type of forecasting techniques will come under qualitative forecasting techniques. The one is judgmental forecasting technique. This type of forecasting technique relies on the judgments from subject matter experts of the concerned area or the department. So based on the data collected from the experts, we are going to identify the forecast, and it is easy to implement also. Other one is Delphi method. Here inputs are taken collectively from the management or from the employees or from the end users. So based on such data only we'll go for the forecasting. And also here the stakeholders also will be a part to give their inputs in the Delphi method. The third technique under this qualitative is market survey. This approach seeks inputs from past customer data and potential clients about their purchases or their plans in the future. Here we are collecting the past customer data and the potential clients based on which we are estimating or forecasting. These are the techniques which will come under qualitative. Next, quantitative. Quantitative techniques are purely based on historical data. These are more accurate, and we can use computers also to speed up the process of forecasting under quantitative. Coming to various existing quantitative techniques, we have time series technique. So which is one of the important one. Here we'll use or we'll consider the previous data for future predictions. These type of forecasts are usually done to develop long-term forecasts, and they rely on historic patterns that relate to specific period. For example, analyzing monthly sales. For example, you take a Hero Honda motor showroom. There, in a showroom, if you know the previous month data, based on which definitely for the next month, how the sales will be, that we can estimate. Not only next 1 month, for the next year, for the next 10 years also we can estimate based on the past data or previous data. The another one is associative models. These models involve some statistical analysis to forecast. Regression analysis. Under regression, linear regression is one of the important technique, and also we go for multi-linear regression also. So such regression analysis is mostly used in this type of models to find the relation and effect between two factors. Okay. Next, different types of forecasting methods in operations management. We have different methods like run rate forecasting method, driver based forecasting method, risk based forecasting method. These are all different types of forecasting methods existing in the operations management. The run rate forecasting method is the most commonly used method in the operations management. The past data patterns are used to predict the future demand patterns and all. In the driver based method, here in the driver based method, whatever the key process metrics of operations are there, that will use to predict the output. And in the risk based method, unforeseen risks could stall the business operations and result in loss. Such risks will identify, and to avoid those risks, for example, we are running a company, there some machines are there, okay, some machines may not work because of the breakdowns, okay. In such cases, we'll use this risk based method, okay. We don't know when the risk will happen, so with this prediction of the possible risks, the risks may also include strikes, machine downtimes, machine breakdowns and all, okay. So by having an idea of these type of risks, how to overcome the risk and how to continue the production in that way, okay, to run the production smoothly without stopping due to the risks, this risk based method will be very useful and appropriate. And the activities mapped to this session are, so one activity and two case studies mentioned here. So activities building a simple production forecasting model using any historical data for any existing firm, and the case study is implementing forecasting models in a manufacturing facility to optimize inventory levels, and other case studies also given here to practice. And the examples of this session, exploring recent articles on forecasting models in production from industry leaders and all, and understand how the companies like the biggest companies Amazon and Toyota integrate advanced forecasting techniques to streamline their supply chains and all. Such examples we can refer. And coming to the summary, in this session so far we have learnt about the importance of forecasting process and also different types of models and types of forecasting techniques existing. And these are the self-assessment questions. What is the primary purpose of forecasting models in the production? The primary purpose is decision making, okay. Based on the forecast only we can take a further decision. Which type of forecasting model is used? Based on assumption that past patterns will continue into future. The best answer is time series models. And these are some of the terminal questions mapped to the session. These are the textbooks and references you can refer related to this particular topic of forecasting types and methods. Thank you very much.